Hi folks, and welcome to PlastiQ Critiques, the weekly drag race review show where I round up the bitchiest people I know, my friends, to review the goings-on of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2. This week's special guest, everyone's favourite Mother Tucker. Hiya! You look incredible.
Thank you.
I am living for everything.
I've got all like total glam.
Yeah. This is what a panto dame would look like if a panto took place in the yard.
It was sponsored by Fireball.
Yeah. I love it. How have you been enjoying Drag Race UK Season 2?
I love it. It's so good, so good. There's been a few episodes, but last night was epic.
Yeah, last night was really
all in all, the season's been amazing. Like, I'm more bothered about watching the UK one than the US one right now.
Yeah, I keep forgetting the US one exists, and then it's like a Saturday morning, I'm like, oh, it's on. Like, when I go to check Netflix for something else, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a new episode of that.
Episode 10 and only 4 queens have gone.
I appreciate Drag Race for trying to give us as much content as possible during lockdown. I just wish they gave us more of UK Season 2 than they gave us of US 30.
I just think that Alexis, man, stop it! Sorry, it's the cat. If the camera goes like this, it's because the cat's like clawing at the table. Alexis!
If you take a shot, everyone watching, take a shot every time Mother screams Alexis, and you'll probably be pissed by the time we talk about the mini challenge.
What was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying now.
We're comparing US 13 to UK Season 2. And how long
yeah. So it's literally like what we are now, episode 8?
Episode 8 of UK, yeah? And episode...
No, 9 of UK. 9 of UK.
Yes, episode 9 and then episode 10 of US, is it? Yes.
Yeah. And it's still another 7 episodes to go of US.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know if they're just trying to drag it out so they can maybe do a live finale. Like, they're hoping it just drags out and then lockdown will get lifted and then they can do it. But we'll see.
I feel really sorry for the queens because the season 12 queens haven't even shown yet.
That's the thing. And then you're going to have...
all the All-Stars.
Yeah, and you're going to have another All-Stars in like a week. You're going to have... Yep. The only queens that are looking out is the Australian queens where there's no lockdown. So they're going to be booked.
That's a stellar lineup as well.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it just? If you at home want to see us reviewing Drag Race Down Under, leave a like and a comment, and we'll... Put
an F in the comments. F in the comments. What does F in the comments mean?
Anyone? No. Not a clue.
We'll search it for you.
F or an S.
Put an F in
all these things, it's like when we're doing that thing with like F in the comments. I don't know what it means, but like I've seen loads of like digital drag. They're like, F's in the comments. I'm like,
to pay your respects.
Oh, apparently you just pay your respects that way by putting an F in the comment.
It was something to do with Call of Duty.
Something to do with...
Oh.
It's something to do with Call of Duty, so it's a straight thing.
oh, right.
Yeah, so...
Wonder.
No, not a clue, but... Big up all my straight homies, wagwan.
S in the comments. S in the comments.
Put your Fs. Put your fuck offs. But let's talk about this week's fabulous episode of Drag Race UK Season 2.
Yes, that's why we're here.
Well, yeah. I mean, we catch up all the time. It's not like everyone else that comes on. I'm like, right, I really need to kind of say hello to you. We see each other too often working together.
Yes,
so we can skip the niceties and get straight into slagging off these bitches. So the Queens come back from last week. Lawrence is still really pissed off about this lineup situation. Do you think Lawrence will ever let this go, ever, in life?
He needs to. He needs to, because it's like, and then it came up again later on in the episode. I'm like, put it to bed. Yeah. It is done. It is dusted. You're lucky you weren't fucking sent home. End of.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think Ellie regrets what she did. I think Ellie did exactly what you're meant to do in that kind of situation.
Play the game.
But I think I can understand from both viewpoints, because I think if I was Ellie, I would have done exactly what Ellie did. And I think if I was Lawrence, I would have bitched about it for the next 6 years. Like, so I do get it, but it's now at the point where you've got 2 weeks left. Just enjoy it. Just drop it.
Also, it's disgusting the way the fans have reacted as well to it all, like having to like delete Twitter and all the death threats and everything like that. It's fucking gross. It's absolutely gross.
It's just unnecessary.
It scares me about the fandom. It really does. Because if we ever get on, like that is going to happen to us.
Yeah.
And like I can take it. Do you know what I mean? It's like I've been there, done that, got the stains on the back of the t-shirt. It's like, and, you know, it's not going to bother me. But like for someone who is suffering like from mental health issues, especially during lockdown and all that, and the fans just go,
yeah,
it's gross.
I think what Lawrence needed to do was be as cancelled as many times as I've been to get a thick skin before.
No one has been as cancelled as much as you.
Just me and Jeffree Star just sat in the corner going, oh, another one.
Family Guy has been cancelled less.
But I'll have a thick skin if it ever rolls around that I end up on season 12 of UK Drag Race. And yeah, because I guarantee I'll be the person that gets the bitch at it.
I will. I'll be painted as the villain, 100%, and I am here for that. My next audition, I'm going to be like, and go in as a total cunt. Be like, yeah, I'm the oldest, most relevant queen that's ever applied for this. I'll fucking tell all these kids exactly what I think.
Yeah, I think that there's 2 ways to do it. It's that way, or you go on as an absolute nobody, play the ukulele, and scaredy cat yourself. Then you make a career. But yeah, so I think we all think Lawrence should drop this ridiculous tirade he has against Ellie.
The same thing, what we've got to remember though, is where like we don't see what the producers are saying. We don't see what the producers are like antagonising, saying what they should be, like, you know, giving them tidbits and making them shady again, and then being like, oh, I think you should talk about this again because this was really good TV.
Yeah, it's there's definitely a poking the bear kind of backstage situation, but that's telly, and that's what happens, and the fans need to know.
The only bear that's getting poked.
Not in lockdown, obviously. But
my arsehole thinks it's for shitting PlastiQ. It's forgotten its actual primary use.
I think you've forgotten its primary use.
No, like, thinking, what they call memory foam mattress. If you don't sleep in it for a while, it goes back to how it used to be. That's what my arsehole was like.
On that note, we'll start new day in the workroom, and the queens come in. Loved Tace's boy outfit. She looked like she got caught in a fishing net, and it was just this big fishnet kind of poncho. It was just something that stood out in my mind.
It was a good job you paid attention, because last night when I watched it, I was very drunk.
I've had to stop myself drinking when I watched the episode, because I ended up having to watch it 3 times.
Like, I can't even read them.
It looks like a doctor's wrote the notes down for you on a prescription card.
It's a prescription of Drag Race UK.
But yeah, Taste looked good.
Isn't it a nice little look, though?
It is nice. It's very on brand. Very you.
Yes.
Well, seeing as you were drunk, I'll fill you in on what kind of went on. So they came in, Taste looked nice, and then they didn't really say much to each other. They're not very talkative, kind of, at all, these queens.
Last night, do you not think it was very London, Scotland?
Yeah, a little bit.
They kind of set that out, didn't you, from the start? It's like, we're doing this for London, we're doing this thing. But then at the same time, what pisses me off with Drag Race is like, they're like, oh, we're doing it for London, but you're from Wales, or you're from Doncaster, or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like...
But that's the north-south divide right there. Scotland is the north, everything else is the south, in the eyes of... But yeah, so I do think there's like, it's definitely a faux rivalry though, like Lawrence, Taste, Bimini and Ellie all seem to be very kind of good friends and happy for each other to be there.
Yeah.
There's not really been a you should go home kind of situation all season. No one's had like a rivalry as such.
I want to know what like happened between Ginny and Lawrence. Apparently there was some more drama that wasn't aired there.
Really? See, we lost a lot of good Ginny drama, though.
Yeah. Well, you know the bit where they were in the workroom, like, they were in drag, and Ginny turned around and was like, oh, shut up or something. Yeah. There was a whole bit there that had been edited right down.
Oh, really?
According to my sources might be lying. And sources is a bottle of mayonnaise and a bottle of ketchup in the fridge.
You know you're not actually in panto, right? Oh, your dad's. But Ru comes in. Just it's nice to have an audience. Make some jokes.
Yeah.
Ru comes in another questionable piece of headwear.
I also saw this on social media today. Someone was like, Ru's obviously had some surgery that's not gone quite right and left her with some dodgy scars or puckering or something. She's had some Botox done that's failed during lockdown. She's not been able to get it topped up. So she's wearing all these, like...
the wigs and the hat. She's probably just got 3 staples there, just waiting to get took out. Lockdown lifted. She had a facelift and they were like, no, we're filming next week. And she was like, well...
That's like when she wore that purple hoodie and gimp mask, isn't it?
Yeah, because she had some questionable work. But, to be fair, if I was RuPaul's age, I would be getting work done every other week.
I'm not RuPaul's age and I get work done.
You need a little bit...
I cannot wait for lockdown to be lifted because I'm starting to look like a deflated Lilo.
My lip person messaged me and they were like, just so you know, I will be messaging you on like the beginning of April to arrange your appointments.
Yes, well, hopefully, when everything's... Because it's the 28th of March, is it when we can go and see family and shit?
I think so. I've lost count. I don't know what's going on.
My family member is my Botox nurse.
See, there you go. That's the way to do it. If I go see me mum, she'll probably smack me in the mouth and... That'll do it.
Not again.
Yeah, I know.
Don't want to repeat that hate crime out of chip shop.
That's the reason we have pride. God. So, mini challenge.
I'm making jokes about hate crime. Just making jokes about Jack getting beat up, okay?
Yeah. It's not okay to laugh at hate crime unless it's at me. There's a line, and I'm okay with it. But drag race. Mini challenge, puppets.
Mini challenge, puppets.
Always a fun mini challenge. It's always kind of camp just to see them take the piss out of each other, but it's okay because they're allowed to in that safe space. One thing I really liked about...
Everybody loves puppets.
Everybody loves puppets. And I particularly loved these puppets because they were in their confessional look.
That was cute.
You can tell they've had 7 months.
A little ASOS jacket they made taste and they put electrical tape stuff.
Yeah. The little padded little thing. You can tell they've had 7 months to go, oh, well, we might as well dress these puppets up a little bit. But
Prostitutes got fuck all else to do.
Yeah. Like, we need to keep all these people not on furlough, so just give them some electrical tape and a bit of black lycra. Make taste the jacket. But I thought it was going to be a bit bitchier than it turned out to be when Lawrence got Ellie.
I think probably like Lawrence didn't want to kind of like still stir the pot on in front of Ru.
In front of Ru.
If you notice, it's never in front of Ru.
Yeah.
It's like it's always kind of like, because last week Ru said, like, I think she forgot, like she did it the day before. She was like, so, did I give you the task of choosing them? It's like, oh, that was yesterday. Can't remember. But then like Ru was like, yeah, he played the game, he was shady, blah blah blah. So there you go. But the puppets, yes. You
can't expect Ru to remember everything with the small partial lobotomy they have just had that they're covering up with the wigs and the hats. But they got the puppets. I didn't think anyone, Bimini aside, I don't think anyone was particularly good. It was, again, another case of a very obvious win in Bimini's favour.
Yeah, well, to be fair, like, Bimini for the win now.
They've just had this kind of... They came back after the 7 months and they were like, no, I'm going to win.
That's 100% it. So we've seen, like, people, like, since the break, like, obviously Lawrence was, like, top of the pops, then come back and been, like, totally, like, fuck. Whereas, like, Bimini, which you could see on the quarantine episode, that Bimini was pushing herself, practicing her face, practicing, like, dancing, pushing it. But from what we saw on that episode, the quarantine episode. The others didn't.
Yeah. I think Lawrence almost, I think, was coasting on the impression they'd already made 7 months ago and didn't quite think, I'm going to have to make that impression again. Because it's like meeting a brand new person when you haven't seen someone in 7 months. So I think they were relying too much on... Well, yeah, because everyone's just been a bit... People change. And I think Bimini's definitely done the right thing coming back. And I think it would be a surprise to me now if Bimini didn't win.
Bimini's got the most followers out of any UK girl.
Ever, yeah.
Both seasons. Smashing it on Twitter and Insta. Doing stuff as well that none of the other girls are doing, all the fashion stuff. Really putting herself out of the box. And I'm obsessed with that. Obsessed with everything that Bimini's doing.
Which is so bizarre as well, because I'm obsessed. And yet episode 1 I was like, oh, she should have went home.
In the green mankini football strip.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the same girl. And not just through surgery.
You're getting it's not Alexis, it's Latrine. It's like, you need a fork on. You got your Chinese? You got a pad thai?
Oh, lovely.
Fancy. I have McDonald's. She's having pad thai.
There's a gammon in the slow cooker for when filming's over.
Oh, is that a euphemism?
I've got a gammon in the slow cooker. I feel like Nigella.
Poor Dad.
Dear.
I just left a gammon in his slow cooker.
It's just there. Just a bit of gammon. I knew this was never going to go.
Flapping in the wind. 2 bits of gammon flapping in the wind.
I said this was not going to go from A to B and we'll get through it really quick. So...
I got tired of drinking last night. I had one sip out of it. I drank that much and the other stuff. I was like, I need to get tired of drinking. I need to get tired of drinking. Bringing out alcohol. One drink out of this £30 bottle of vodka. Ridiculous.
So Bimini wins the mini challenge. Well done, Bimini.
Rightfully so.
Yes, rightfully so. She's definitely got she's really funny and I didn't expect it to be. And she proved that in the comedy challenge as well.
It's clever humour though.
Yes. It's humour.
She's saying something. She's being political and everything like that. If you look at her Instagram and her Twitter, very sort of to the people, fight for your rights, which I fucking love. I'm obsessed with.
It's
using her voice for good.
Edinburgh Fringe comedy. Highbrow Edinburgh Fringe comedy.
Yes.
But that kind of thing really works and it's been proven time and time again. If you look at people like Sandy Toksvig or 100%. People that are political and have an agenda. She has an agenda behind her comedy.
That's who I exactly think of when I think of Bimini. I think of Sandy Toksvig.
When I think of that kind of comedy, I'm not comparing them looks. They're the same height. They're both this big.
Pocket clothes.
Absolutely tiny. If you look at the photo of Bimini stood next to Ellie last week.
I just spat everywhere. Literally taking her to school.
Yeah.
Dropping the kids off at school.
She looks... It's The Hobbit.
David? No, David. David, no.
Can we take shots for David as well?
Yeah, if it's David or Alexis, then take shots. What are you doing? It's going for his dinner, that's sorry.
But we'll move on from puppets to find out that the main...
This is literally the worst review you've ever done because I'm not talking about anything about Drag Race, we're just having a kiki.
I like that. It's going to be the hardest edit I've ever done, but don't want to upset them. But main challenge this week, EastEnders. EastEnders acting challenge, Beastenders in the Queen Dick. First things first from this kind of challenge, who did you...
First things first, you're a realist.
I mean, in this outfit? Iggy Azalea? In that video? Maybe? A little bit? Oh. No? Alright, so who did you think would do well in this challenge? When you knew what the challenge was going to be?
I instantly was like, yeah, Lawrence is going to smash it. I knew Bimini was going to do well because the previous acting challenges, the improv challenges, the Snatch Game, obviously, her physical comedy is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence obviously works well his comedy normally is really good. It was just obviously, yeah, I was like, Tace and Ellie are going to struggle. But I thought they were all fucking amazing. Once you saw it all together, it was all incredible.
Yeah, I think rehearsal didn't go great. I think, not even rehearsal, I think when they were filming with Michelle, it didn't go great. So it means...
You totally missed out Natalie Cassidy.
Yeah, I was just about to go. So it means they didn't take the tips from the mentor this week, Natalie Cassidy. Sonia from EastEnders.
Wonderful. I'm just on Drag Race now. I can't do that.
Just doing this now. Just on Drag Race now. But yeah, it was fun to see her there. I think it was good to have an EastEnder kind of appear on the episode, because we'll talk about the guest judge later. So it was nice to see an actual EastEnder be there. I don't think
she had more personality than Anne Hathaway in her one.
Yeah, but Anne doesn't have personality. I just call her Anne. She doesn't have much personality.
Hey Siri, ring Anne. She actually did that.
I'm not checking for my phone now. No, we're good.
Because we do have Anne on speed dial.
Me and Anne, we go way back. I was actually the 7th choice for Devil Wears Prada, but I gave the role up to her. But she, yeah, Sonia definitely.
You were the 10th choice for loaf of bread in Latrine's phone's just rang Adam.
Sorry. Block his number quick.
Yeah, take his number out your phone, Latrine. So back to what I was saying, you were the 10th choice for loaf of bread in Les Mis as well.
Yeah, no, I was. I was going to be a hairdresser, but they had that covered by 7 prostitutes. So
Layla and Latrine.
Yeah. So Sonia from EastEnders.
Sonia from EastEnders.
There with a trumpet.
The icon that is Natalie Cassidy. The icon.
Who has had more soap storylines than most. She's been a lesbian. She's been a child.
I forgot about that.
What? You forgot about the lesbian thing? It was quite big at the time, wasn't it, that she was a lesbian?
POC.
It was with a POC as well. It was a biracial lesbian love affair. Crazy. For the time, though, that was insane. Same with Todd Grimshaw on EastEnders, on Coronation Street. When he had a snog, that was massive. I remember that. I fully remember that.
My favourite ever clip. My favourite ever bit of Coronation Street, I don't watch it, but like I used to when that happened, was when Gail and Eileen were fighting in the street, and she was like, "Your son's one of the village people."
They probably couldn't say that now, but it was a different time. It was a different time. But yeah, I think Natalie gave them some decent advice to do some highs and lows. I think a few of them probably were going to go into that, playing the shouty the whole way through. So I think it was good that they learned to kind of take it with ebbs and flows. I can't remember much else.
You missed the trick by not calling it Eastenders, though.
Eastenders, yeah. I don't know.
That was very, because that was what was like when there was the first ever gay relationship on EastEnders back in the 80s. That was the Sun's headline.
Of course
EastEnders.
Of course it was. But yeah, should have done that. I like it. I prefer that more. Probably not. It wouldn't happen on the BBC. A Horace Grandma would ring up and say, "I'm not happy, I want that bleeped." So they wouldn't get to show it.
Big arseholes.
But I feel like we noticed when we were watching it, Natalie Cassidy was there so long that the sun set on her Zoom call. The lighting went from like daytime lighting to literally dusk, and she was still just like, yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, but she was on screen for 2 minutes, but must have been on that call hours to give them some decent advice. But they get ready. They're going to shoot. Tace.
Access.
Remember when you thought it was a really good idea to get a cat?
I know, right? I was like, I'll get kittens, that'll be fine. Doing my face today, they were like literally up on the mirror, on the Ricky, like just like pouring the mirror. I'm like, yes, that is you. Fuck off.
Alexa's got me.
Who was your favourite look for the challenge?
100% Lawrence.
I don't have an answer for
100%
that.
Lawrence.
You shouting Alexis has set off my Alexa. Alexa, stop listening for an hour. Thanks. But yeah, favourite...
Yeah. Lawrence, that high fucking polo neck was genius. The way it literally cut the full chin round. Like, it was almost like it glued it on. And then that little fucking Shirley Carter wig reminded me of Miss Lucy. Like, I was like, this is like, I am living for Lawrence's look. That was so cool. Taste's hair.
Unreal.
But she just needed to stop doing this as much because it was constant flicking. And that's
I think I do that though. When I've got hair on, I like to just have a bit of a play and a bit of a. And when you've got hair that big, it's so hard not to like run your fingers through it.
Yeah, it was super cute though. I did enjoy that hair a lot.
Really good. I like that she wore the white breastplate and didn't care. It was like, if I'm going to be fake, I might as well have the wrong colour tits.
100%. And Ellie's Dot Cotton was that she got it on a snatch game with that outfit.
Yes. Fully Dot Cotton.
So to the T. But do you think they get those costumes provided? So do you think they've got one in every size for each queen? Because it's like, how do they know that that's going to be the challenge? How do they know? Like, obviously they're going to be aware there's an EastEnders challenge, but they don't know what character they're going to be.
I think.
So is that just in the arsenal that they brought with them, or do the production give them that?
I'd assume they're told you're going to have an EastEnders challenge. Here's the few characters. Bring some options that can work for those characters.
Well, yeah, maybe actually.
And then they bring like a little dress for Kat, and they bring like a little. But like I think Lawrence's look, the jacket and the skirt with a different top could have worked for a different character and stuff like that. I think that's probably what they do. But I think the shooting of it didn't go great. Lawrence couldn't remember their lines. That knocked Ellie off, and then Ellie couldn't remember their lines.
Not being able to open the door. That was
hilarious. I wish we kept it in.
Yeah.
It was very Mrs. Brown's Boys. Just like, this set is about to fall apart any second.
Yeah. Like, Taste's accent was dodgy.
Yeah, Taste doesn't quite, for someone who lives in London, doesn't quite have the knack of like a Cockney kind of up governor.
I was like, is this like Neighbours?
Yeah, it was very Australian. Just play it Welsh. Just do it in your voice. You're a guest kind of character anyway. You're being introduced that episode. Do you think Taste made a mistake not playing the Karen character as a Can I Speak to the Manager Karen?
I didn't think that was what it was, but then like Michelle said that, I was like, oh, it totally could have been a Karen.
Yeah.
But I don't think there are any like Karens in EastEnders. That's the thing. It's like, she's meant to be a parody of Sharon, right?
I thought that.
So I was like, well, if she's meant to be doing a Karen as in Can I Speak to the Manager Karen, then that doesn't exist in EastEnders. If she's meant to be doing a Sharon Karen, then that was perfect.
Yeah. I wanted her, if she's meant to be Sharon, I wanted her to come through the door with a handbag in her arms. Like, stand against the door.
Sally's in the kitchen eating a biscuit. You rip that spider limb from limb.
I would have loved if she was a guest judge on this episode as well. She was rumoured.
Well, it was meant, I think, because EastEnders is in its own bubble, isn't it?
Oh, maybe.
So the EastEnders cast wouldn't have been able to go to the set because Drag Race was in a bubble, EastEnders is in its own bubble, so therefore they can't mix the two together.
Yeah, I guess. It is a shame, though. It is a shame.
Yeah.
So the Queens...
Okay, so yeah, Letters from Home I definitely was talking over.
So, the Queens in the workroom, Bimini found some letters, by which the producer said, go over there's some letters. And they were all letters from home, and it was kind of a nice emotional moment where the parents all said how proud they were of them and blah, blah, blah. I assume they were probably going to do another bring your mum in, drag her up, makeover challenge, which they then had to replace with a superhero episode, but still wanted that emotional tie-in, so got some letters from home. I think in that situation...
Yeah, because we don't obviously have the we don't have the untucks that they do in America. That's where they do that, isn't it?
Yeah. I think in the situation they're in, where they probably actually haven't seen their parents at this point in like the best part of a year, that must have been a really emotional kind of time for them to get any kind of contact from home. Especially feeling so isolated on set, which you would anyway on a normal season, but then to have not seen your family for 7, 8, 9 months because you've been in lockdown, emotions were probably running high. I think it brought a few people back down to earth, kind of remembered what's outside the workroom doors. But it was a nice moment. It wasn't a memorable moment.
I remember them having pictures as well,
I think some did. They have photos?
I remember them having pictures.
Yeah, they had like a little photo in there and stuff. I think I wouldn't want a letter from home. I'd want a letter from someone that like hated me. So like anyone.
So there'll be excuses to write that letter.
They come in with a postal bag, like, right, just pick one. I'd need something to spur me on.
It's like a dying child at birthday when you put out the requests for the dying child to have all the cards. Everybody's plastic. I'm gonna be like, oh.
When you see like the photos from care homes and it's like, Marie doesn't have any family, so if you want to send her a birthday card this year, and she gets 700 cards. That's what, yeah.
Who are these people? I don't know these people.
She just tells everyone there they're all from her sons. This is my son. This is my son. That's what I'd do. But yeah, it was a nice moment. Not a particularly memorable moment, but it was nice. So the Queen... runway time.
Runway time.
Runway time already.
Oh, yeah.
RuPaul...
I shall turn my page for the runway.
Do any of the notes make sense at this point? I'm curious how much you'd had to drink. But...
I didn't write any notes for the runway.
Oh, good.
I didn't write any notes for the runway.
I'll tell you what they were wearing and you can tell me whether you like the sound of it.
I can remember what they were wearing.
Okay.
I can remember what they were wearing.
Can you remember what RuPaul was wearing?
That gold lame thing.
Yeah, the little gold with the backcombed kind of... You've got hair kind of similar. The backcomb spiral curl.
Yeah.
I thought Ru looked really nice. I think Ru
looked... probably human and cost $3,000.
Yeah, probably. But you wear it just as well.
Oh, well, you asked her.
I'm just being nice. I'm feeling nice today. It won't last. It won't. But yeah, I think Ru looked nice. I think Ru's starting to dress a bit more youthful, younger, cooler. I'm enjoying it.
I think she dresses a lot different in the UK one to the US one.
Do you think
like she's pushing the boundaries a little? She's pushing it a little bit more.
I think it's because I think she sees it as an opportunity to start again with a new audience. Some people may not have seen the US one. It's a new audience. This is the new me. New year, new Ru. So I think that's probably something to do with it. I think Michelle looked gorgeous as ever. I'm loving the grey still. I don't think I'll stop loving it.
I love that silver streak. Oh, I love that silver streak so much.
Especially with that big curly hair that she had. Actually, her hair in the challenge rehearsal was amazing with just a little bit. But the big curly, unreal, with the green, looking gorgeous. Alan Carr was there. He's still definitely my least favourite out of Graham and Alan.
Was it not Graham Norton last night?
Was it? Who was it last night? Graham or Alan?
Graham.
Well, it was Graham. Graham was...
And I was the drunk one.
Were you drinking?
No, do you know, it's because he didn't say much apart from complain. That's why I remember him. Now, why I didn't remember him 5 seconds ago. And the most hyped...
So you were prompted to remember?
Yes, someone in my ear. The most hyped guest judge in the history of Drag Race. They kept it secret all week. It was... You can't wait to see our sickening guest judge. And it was the mannequin from the challenge.
Oh, okay. So was that Danny Dyer's real voice?
I wasn't sure. I don't know if it was...
It was either a really good impersonator or it was Danny Dyer.
If it was Danny Dyer, I wish they'd put an iPad on the face of the mannequin and he'd been on FaceTime or something. And just like, yeah, it's me, Danny Dyer. Like, that would have been good. I would have liked that more.
It did sound. It did sound exactly like Danny Dyer.
It could have been. You never know.
I'll tweet him.
We'll get some researchers. Someone try and find out. But yeah, let's talk about the Queen's runways. This week's theme, a staple of British drag, the panto dame. First,
I love panto.
Well, so do I. And you've done panto, and I've done panto. So
that's how I started. That's how I started doing drag, doing panto dame for 5 years in a row when I was very young. So that's how I started doing drag. So that's where I tread my, what is it?
Tread the boards.
Trinity? Oh yeah, I tread the boards. That's how I got my drag degree.
I used to do panto when I was very young, from about 8 to 12. Which ironically is my dress size. No, but from the ages, it was my dress size when I did panto at age 8. Well, when I was doing panto at 8 years old, yes, that was my dress size. But that was where I became gay. I was gay in panto, and it was all right as well. Like, it was every show I was in a tutu, or I was in a. They had me 1 year at age 11 in a gold lame catsuit with the belly cut out, rhinestones of... Yeah. No, but I was kind of skinnier then, so like I was a skinny 11-year-old, so it was all right.
Like a gold Teletubby.
It had nude mesh over my belly button with rhinestones around my belly button, a feathered waistcoat, a feathered headdress, and my lamp was a bottle of poppers around my neck, which I didn't know at that age.
What character were you?
In the Chapel House Chadka ones.
No, what character were you?
The genie in Aladdin.
With a bottle of poppers.
That was my lamp. I was a gay. I was a gay. I think if I find a photo, I'll put it up somewhere.
I think I want to see this.
Very, very like. Ooh.
I'll send you. What I'll do is I'll send you some pictures of me in panto drag as well.
We'll put that. Well, there is another photo that I definitely won't put that I found in a paper clipping, like a newspaper clipping that my grandma saved. Is it over there? Can you grab it?
Do you know that the pictures that my mum sent me? It must be a dress rehearsal because I'm wearing trainers and I've got no makeup on.
The credits just say guest judges Mickey. They don't actually say if it was Danny Dyer or not. But panto dame runway.
Panto dame runway.
First up, Lawrence Chaney, looking fabulous.
Lawrence Chaney.
What did you think of Lawrence's look?
I loved it, but obviously it's because it was designed by a Newcastle legend, Opium.
Yes,
That's what Lauren said. That's what Lauren said on the video today. Newcastle legend. I was like, oh, she's talking about me. No, Opium.
But Opium made what you're wearing right now.
Opium made exactly what I'm wearing. She makes all my outfits.
I've had a few pieces from Opium. Opium's a very talented designer.
100%, and that look was, for me, the best pantomime look on the runway.
I agree.
If you're going like traditional panto, panto dame, if you're going panto dame, 100% that was the best look.
I agree. I think panto dames always have like that element of this is not an item of clothing and yet it's on my body. So the sewing machine was perfect.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking about it last night and I was like, why didn't anyone come out, in AstroTurf as a golf course with a golf club on their head or as a twister mat or whatever, the typical panto stuff. There wasn't a lot of panto dame shown on the runway for me.
No, I think it was literally, to me, I guess Ellie's could have been taken as panto dame, but it was more Alice in Wonderland for me.
It was.
I guess it's panto as well, isn't it?
Yeah, a fairy tale kind of panto-y. It was. We'll talk about Ellie when we get to Ellie.
When we come to Ellie.
We'll move on though to Tace, not panto dame.
So you remember Drop Dead Gorgeous, the film?
Yes.
With Kirstie Alley and Kristen Dunst. There's a scene in that where they all have to dress as monuments that make them proud to be American. And there's the one girl who wears the big ball of twine on her head. She's like, my uncle so-and-so's biggest ball of twine in the world reminds me why I'm proud to be American. I think I got the assignment wrong. That's exactly what fucking Taste did. She got the assignment wrong. Yeah. Now, do not get me wrong. She looked fucking flawless, like incredible. The whole outfit totally reminds me. If you took the wings off, that would be Kylie Showgirl. Incredible, stunning. The fucking feather. Although she did look like Sonic and Tails had fucked and had a baby.
Agreed.
But it was sick. It was incredible. But it wasn't Panto Dame. It was Panto Fairy.
Yeah, it was a dancer's costume from a panto. It wasn't. I'll give Tay. It's the first time in a while we've not seen Tace's hip pads looking a bit suspect. We've not seen the top of her fishnets. Everything was polished and gorgeous.
Not seen a scratchy gash.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough. It was a chorus costume for a panto for me.
No, I think that's unfair. I think it was like a fairy costume. Because if that was chorus, there's a lot of fucking money in that chorus. It was total fair. Like, it was like the fairy that comes down from the ceiling in the pantomime on the big hoop, and it's all glamour. But the theme, the brief was pantomime dame.
Yes.
And that wasn't dame. Obviously, it was man dressed as woman, which is panto dame, but it wasn't like the tacky over the top, like the horrible print, the ridiculous hair, like the clashing of everything. She tried to make it too fashion.
That's the problem. I think if she just let go and just said, I'm going to come out. If she wanted to make it fashion and she did like Lady Gaga's Kermit dress or something like that, I'd at least go, all right, okay, it's a fashion reference, but it's Dame. Like, there was different ways to do it, and I just think it missed the mark for me.
One of my favourite things to do on Friday after press. Actually, that was David. One of my favourite things to do after Drag Race is go on to all the other queens' social media to see what they would have worn.
I agree.
And stop biting my ankles. And for me, the winner out of all of them was Ahura. Did you see Ahura? She was like a big turkeys thing. That was incredible.
I liked Ahuras. For me, shock horror viewers, my winner was Sister Sister.
Let me just check. I don't know if I saw that.
It was good. It was like a full English breakfast.
It was the necklace.
Oh, fuck, yes, I did see it, because Michael from Bake Off shared it. Yes, I did see it. Yeah, that is panto.
Yes.
You're taking an everyday object and making it a costume. And that's what panto is. Like, the more absurd, the more extravagant, the more ridiculous, the better. Because everyone's like, when they come on and Dame comes on and they're wearing something stupid.
I think Taste has like the body as well to be able to do kind of that panto Dame that has the polystyrene balls in the knees to make her knees look really like knobbly and like that kind of silly kind of. So I think it was a shame that she wasted the opportunity. Next up, Bimini.
So to me, Bimini was told Babes in the Wood. Again, not pantomime, but it was still a really good look.
I think Bimini was ugly stepsister to me.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I got more kiddie, like Babes in the Wood, like the principal girl type.
Yeah, I think the hair was very kind of panto-y. The silhouette was panto-y.
The look was total panto, but for me, it wasn't the Dane's character. It was like another principal character.
Yes. Great look though. The makeup was nice. Everything looked good.
You notice how they all used blue eyeshadow?
Yeah.
Every single one of them had blue.
Panto?
That's just that, because that's panto, isn't it?
It had big blue eyeshadow, big red lips, or big pink lips.
Blue garage doors, big old lips.
Yeah, but that's I think that's the joy of panto. I really wanted them to do the bad panto makeup. The don't glue your eyebrows down, put a big black eyebrow up here, garage doors, the lips. But
as Ginny posted hers.
Ginny hasn't been posting her looks.
Maybe she didn't have any.
I think, and that's why she left. She was like, oh crap, I've run out of outfits.
Well, maybe. No, because I don't know.
I think she lost her love for the show when she left, and then didn't
Yeah,
want to
probably.
continue being the Ru girl.
Yeah, probably.
Who was next down the runway? It was
Ali.
Ellie. Oh yeah, there's only 4 of them. Ellie Diamond. It is a genuine pantomime costume. We know this because our friend wore it in a pantomime. It's a hired look from a fabulous costume company. And I think Ellie wore it well.
Yeah, like my only issue with outfit was it was very pantomime, but it was Alice in Wonderland pantomime. My only issue with that outfit was that the hoop was on the reveal bit of the skirt, and there was no volume on the bottom.
Yeah.
So it kind of like went like that. Instead of it being a hoop skirt, it was like almost like a house shape.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of up and like out and straight down. Whereas I think it should have gone like a dome, like a bell.
The thing is with that outfit though, it was designed for someone a lot shorter. So it does have that, on a shorter person, the shape is right because it goes there to the floor. And it works. With Ellie being so much taller and it hitting at that place, it needed another 20 yards of crinoline kind of underneath.
Yeah, 100%. To in the bit of the reveal that was like the tearaway, it didn't matter what you saw inside on the tearaway.
Yeah.
The jacket came off. Have you seen the video that she posted today as well? Of like music video.
Yes.
Of the lip sync. Yeah, which is cute, super cute. But like the whole jacket comes off and stuff, and you're not looking at the inside of the lining, so you're concentrating on what's revealed. So she could have had all the crinoline in the bottom half as well to give it that volume.
I think it definitely needed more in the shape, but I think it was well constructed. It was stoned nice. The hair worked well with it, but it didn't scream.
The makeup was on point.
Always on point.
Lip, I love that lip. I love that little heart lip. It's just perfection.
Yeah, but that again goes back to the Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, Ali is definitely the painting queen of this season.
Yes.
Like how how Blue Hydrangea was in season 1, how like Blue is always like fucking to the gods. Ellie is that queen as well. So Ellie's face is always beat.
The only difference being obviously Blue had a badge, which Ellie has yet to kind of manage to get her hands on.
Otherwise, there's no chance now, is there?
Well, no.
They don't give out badges in the pan episode.
No, that's it. Your badge time is up.
Yeah.
No.
She can always order one off Wow Presents, the website.
Yeah, we'll send her one. Just, I'll buy her one and send her one.
We'll send her one and ours for me. Go on.
Yeah. You can have one of mine, hun. Bimini's got 4. She can
Fascinator. There you go.
Mother took a pin badge. Sticker. I can get her a Lucy Furs sticker like that. I'll send her one.
Because she's still got all 30 that she bought.
Very harsh. But yeah, let's talk about the screening, the premiere of Beastenders. Premiere.
So as always in Drag Race, they make the rehearsals look really fucking shit, and it's either really shit or it's really good. And I really, really, really enjoyed it.
So did I. I think
it's one of the best acting challenges they've done on any episode of Drag Race, any season, any country. All 4 of them smashed it out of the park.
I think for me, it was the perfect kind of epitome of EastEnders, because I didn't have a clue what was going on, but I enjoyed it. Which is an EastEnders episode. I was laughing the whole way through. I think there was so many good, funny moments for everybody as well. There wasn't like you're the lead character. It wasn't like the acting challenge in season 1 where Bagger stole the show were much better. Everyone had a moment where I went, oh, that was really funny for them. That was really good for them. Really good for them.
I really enjoyed the references as well on the set. So it was like Bagger fishy chips, the scampi fries. There was the what was the scaredy cat?
Oh, the ale, the scaredy tap. On the
scaredy tap, and then there was Divino de Campo as the wine.
Yeah,
and there was something. 2 seconds, because Reverend Kate Motley name drop, is I'm friends with. She posted a thing on Instagram, so let me see, 'cause it's here. So the beers were, oh look, little shameless plug there.
How well designed that merchandise is.
I know, how well designed, how well illustrated by yourself and Jacqueline Ogden. Oh yes, Daddy. New merch coming Good Friday. So the beers were much fitter, Chantilly you stay, Queen Ale, Scaredy Tap, wine was Divino de Campo, the cocktails were Long Island iced tea, something strong,
Nice.
Pinas Colada, and then there was the bag of fishy chips as the scampi fries, and then it was notice we reserve the right to refuse anyone's service, no matter who you are or who you think you are.
Nice. I like it.
I got the attention to detail again because like when we were talking about the puppets. So some fucking poor like set designers had 7 months to come up with this.
Just made an entire pub. I'd like them to open that pub in like the West End of London or like in Soho or something like a grotty pub in the middle of Gate.
Come on, it's the art.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And all the staff and all the queens are exactly those characters.
That's spot on, actually. When I'm thinking about it, that is exactly what it is.
Yeah. But then that's every fucking queer venue, like every old school queer venue across the UK. That is what it's like.
Oh, 100%. And I think that's what makes them so wonderful and unique.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't get this in America. And any Americans watching will not have a clue what was going on this week's episode, which makes it even better.
Beastenders it gets a decent following in America, I think, Beastenders.
Lady Gaga's obsessed with Doc Cotton.
Oh, well, yes, Lady Gaga is obsessed with Doc Cotton, that is true.
This would be the Graham Norton thing, wasn't it? They were both on Graham Norton in the same episode.
Why does she have an e-cigarette? It's fabulous. Yeah.
And I'm sure that Doc Cotton, June Brown, is Pete Doherty's godmother or aunt or something.
I can believe that.
As in Pete Doherty from the Libertines. There's some relation there.
Oh, and Big
Doc
Mo,
Cotton's a fucking icon.
and Big Mo is Gary Oldman's sister,
Yeah.
which no one seemed to know until the most recent week. But I think I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
I don't.
Till the most recent week. I don't think I've ever spoke like that in my life. Till dead recently. But I think the challenge was probably one of my favourite acting challenges I've ever seen on Drag Race.
100%.
I can't think of one I enjoy more.
I think, well, to be fair, to me, it's the Downton Draggy and the Beastenders are like the top 2 on any season, anything. Like, it was well written, it was relevant, it's funny, it was very British.
Mm-hmm.
So it all made sense for the UK episode. And I think that's the first time they did a soap as well. They've not done a soap like.
Well, they couldn't.
Like, you know what I mean? Like a piss take of an actual soap. I don't think they have. And they've not done like the Young and the Restless or anything like that.
They did the kind of, it's not soap, it's a sitcom. They did like the Golden Girls style thing on season 4. That's a sitcom. So I don't think they've done.
What's that? Grey's Anatomy?
They might do. I would love if they did a Neighbours on Down Under.
I'm sure they will. And if they do not do a Kylie Minogue episode, and Kylie Minogue is a special judge on the Australian one, then I am demanding my money back.
I want, like the Lady Gaga episode in season 9. I want Kylie there for the whole thing. Everyone has to dress as Kylie. Kylie goes backstage and gives them notes. I need the full.
90,000 Kylies. And then Kylie, because I tweeted, I tweeted with Kylie and World of Wonder and something else. I was like, if they don't do an Australian episode where Kylie's the judge and they do a Kylie Minogue 90,000 Kylies, no one commented.
Oh. Oh, I thought you were going to be like, and then Kylie tweeted me and said, I'm on the show, I love you so much. That would have been nice.
It's just me and Dolly Parton, not like that. It's just me and Dolly.
You're just in it for the vaccine. Like
100%. Give me that fucking stab me with that Dolly vaccine. I did have my fucking HPV about A yesterday again, second dose. My arm's killing today, like.
I've still got a scar from where I got mine.
What, your hair?
Yeah.
No, you're thinking of the TB one.
No, my hep one gave me a scar. because my body rejected it.
Well, I had to wait 10 minutes in the clinic for them to like make sure I wasn't gonna fucking die.
God, why? Kick it in the street. Put you back in your car. But let's talk about the
I'm
judge.
not talking about hepatitis.
Yeah, instead, let's talk about the judge's comments. So
Dolly Parton to hepatitis in one final sentence.
I don't know how we've managed this. There was me thinking Missy J talked too much last week.
I don't even think you and Lucy deviated as much.
I don't think any guest yet has managed to not talk about his drag race as much as you have. So well done.
What part of the episode are you on here?
Mini challenge? No, I'm kidding.
God.
Please, look at my sleeves. That's real. That's actual flesh.
Lockdown's not being kind. I've had to cut this up the back. But let's talk about the judge's comments. God.
Can we have a cigarette break first?
Yeah, go on. I think we'll talk about judge's comments. And like you say, yeah, Graham was a bit negative, and I think Graham kind of just expected a bit more from people when it came to the panto runway. Yeah, I agree. I think if anyone is going to do panto, it should be British drag queens. And I think that was what wasn't great about the episode, was that the runway was the letdown. So I agree with Graham's comments there. I think, in general, the comments were all really positive. There was no "you were rubbish" in the challenge. The judges were happy.
They said it was the hardest challenge, acting challenge to judge, didn't they?
Well, the hardest challenge to judge, I think it's just been, everyone was at a very similar level to be able to say...
Alexis! Let the wobble on his camera. Stop it! Oh, she's looking at me like I just shot in her face.
But yeah,
by the way, not tonight. The last time I did drag, David shot in my drag suitcase.
Amazing.
I was like, oh, chill. And like, he just literally got in, and anything that crinkles, I think he thinks is his litter tray.
Oh, okay.
He just did a massive fucking wet shit in my
Oh, no. Let it dry out and then just...
I told her a lot.
Yeah.
I saw that bitch.
But yeah, drag race. God. We will get through this.
You wanted me, hon. You wanted me.
And I've been happy. Have you?
Have you seen that video of Trixie and Brittany Broski?
Yes.
Where she can never fucking finish that sentence about the conversation about a manager. It's like that.
That's exactly what it is. I'm Trixie and you're Brittany Broski.
I'm behind that.
So, yes, it was a very hard challenge to judge. I think the judges really had their work cut out for them. So when it came to the bottom two, I wasn't massively surprised that it was Ellie and Tace. I think they slightly underperformed Lawrence and Bimini. I think Lawrence's runway was the best and Bimini's acting was the best. So it was obvious that they were going to be a top two.
But so obviously in the rehearsal or the filming, in the filming, they made it look as though Lawrence was going to be absolutely terrible and it was going to be really awkward to watch. But they were so funny. It's like the Shirley Carter stroke Phil Mitchell kind of character. So yeah, so definitely top two were Bimini and Lawrence, looks wise and performance wise.
Yes, which leaves Tace to lip sync for the fourth time.
The part from I got this information off Gladys. So Gladys, very very knowledgeable as she does spreadsheets. I just get myself in my fan. She does spreadsheets and shit like that. Apparently, Jujubee is only the worst performing top four. So Tace is the second worst performing bottom four. If you get in the top four, does that make sense?
Yes, that does make sense.
So she's like only got one badge, been in the bottom 4 times, and still top 4.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
The only thing that makes Jujubee worse is that Jujubee never won a challenge.
Yes.
So it is it is. It's great to see that Tace is the dancer, lip sync assassin that we knew she was going to be, and she has proved that time and time again.
And finally got a song that she could actually perform to rather than a ballad. Sorry, I'm just like a ballad or something that was actually she could show off
and she was
performing.
Dressed to perform as well, because the only other time she could have, she was dressed as a scourer. So she had no chance. A scourer, a Brillo pad.
Oh, a scourer. I thought you said a scowler. I was like,
a scouser?
a scowler.
All right.
That's the way it was like,
frowning. But yeah, I think
I can do that now.
All right, how annoying.
I know, right?
I think
you get that neither.
This was my favourite lip sync song that has ever been on Drag Race ever.
Really?
To get a step song, yeah. But I wanted them to bust into choreography.
Me too. So I was actually saying last night in my drunken stupor that why weren't they doing the steps dancing? Why weren't they doing that whole routine?
My only guess is that they didn't have the special edition VHS that I had as a child that taught you all the dance moves.
I wasn't a child though. I was 21.
See, I was very young. Steps was my first gig when I was like 5 years old.
I think have we not had this conversation before?
That we were probably at the same gig.
No, because I went to the Manchester.
Okay.
Because obviously that was closer to me. But like Steps was at the Steps. Was it the first step? Did you just fart, Latrine? Steps was the first. I think it was the first step, and then I've seen Steps like 10 times anyway.
I was very young, and I remember the set had like a balcony and a spiral staircase.
Yeah.
That was what I remember. I was like 5 years old. I was on my mum's shoulders.
Who supported?
Oh God, I couldn't tell you.
So I saw like Lolly, Atomic Kitten. I want to say 911, but I don't think it was 911.
I honestly wouldn't know.
Atomic Kitten definitely supported. Lolly definitely supported. And there's probably other ones that you can't remember, like Adam Rickett or some shit like that.
Yeah, to be fair, for me, it's just a mess of like colour and shapes because of how young, 20 years ago. But
I thought you meant your life.
Yes, that's also true, but that's the acid flashbacks. That's what that is. But yeah, I wish they had bust into the choreography. But
what is the choreography last thing on my mind?
You've got shampoo.
That's one for
Sorrow. That's one for Sorrow. Right. Last thing on my mind. This is shampoo.
Was that not Tragedy then?
Tragedy is shampoo as well. They shampooed a lot.
I'm sure there's this.
Did they have a?
What about conditioning?
I did. Not with the.
This was the last thing on my mind.
They couldn't condition at the time because Faye had the Nordic dreads, so she would have lost. So she wouldn't have been able to use conditioner.
Oh, I bet they were heavy.
Oh God, yeah. And Lisa had the braces.
Heavier than these fucking earrings.
But I think it was a nice lip sync. It wasn't like there was no obvious winner.
It was cap.
So I think the double Shantae was well deserved. But
I was not expecting that at all.
Me
I was
neither.
not expecting a double Shantae.
Because
I knew stuff that, and I was like, oh, this isn't gonna. But it did what it did.
Yeah, well, I was definitely expecting. Even going into this episode, I was expecting Ellie to go home. So I'm happy for Ellie that she got to stay. I just don't know if she's done enough to deserve to stay.
So next week, do you think we're going to do a kick one out and then the top three?
I hope so. But then they might kick two out and have a top two lip sync, or who knows?
I know that they filmed 3 endings, I know that.
Okay, so they're going to kick someone out and then have an ending for one of them.
But did they not do that last time with Bagger? They kicked Bagger out and then they filmed the other 2.
Yes, so that's what I was thinking might happen this week. But we'll see. We'll see. I think my only thing is, if there could have been a double Shantae any episode this season, I would have liked to still see a horror here. Yeah.
Last week.
They were best friends. It would have been a nice story to have them both lip sync together and stay together. I really like her horror. I like her growth in the competition. So
Me too, 100%.
I wish she'd like stayed, but it is what it is. It's the end of the...
So are you one of these people who, when they watch a reality TV series, they like to see the growth of the person and that makes them the winner? Or do you like to see someone who's strong from the outset and that's how they're going to win?
No, I like to see growth. I don't want someone to come in perfect, which is what Lawrence kind of did. Lawrence came in as the finished article. I want to see vulnerability. I want to see people changing and evolving, which is why I like Bimini. I like Ahura. Like, those have been the queens for me this season that I've went, I would have liked either of you to win, because I like...
Well, I think Ahura came in, like, sick as fuck with her outfits and her look. It was just the attitude that people had the issue with. Whereas I think Bimini came in, like, in that green football mankini, lip sync for her life the first time, but then the progression for her is, it's been a fucking juggernaut right to the top.
Yeah.
It's like, to see her coming in that really costumey, cheap look like she made it herself, like football hometown in the black too. So then just incredible to see that. And I think that's what makes you like the character, like the queen, like the winner, or like who you want to win, because you're seeing that progression and that drive that you've got, and the desire to improve and the desire to show off and say, right, you told me to do this, so I've gone away and I've actually fucking done what you told me to.
So if I asked you to put money on it now, would you say Bimini was the winner?
100% Bimini my winner. Well, for me personally, and obviously like we're like the Club Kids group chat with like there's like me, Andrew, Iggy, Jamie, and all the rest of the staff in there. And
all of the staff are in a group chat. I'm staff. I'm not in this group chat.
You're a designer.
I'm an in-house designer.
So yeah, so like I said today, I was like, my money's on Bimini to win, and everyone agreed in the chat that they want Bimini to win. Yeah, so 100% to me. I think she's funny. I think she'll be able to do something different than Viv did with her win. I think Bimini can do some political shit. She's so fashion forward. It's incredible. Her performances I worked with her last year on the Squirrel Friends tour in London. Her performances are next level. She did that chair routine that she did on the quarantine thing where she was on a chair and like doing splits. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So for me, yeah, Bimini's the winner. As much as I love Lawrence and Tace, I've worked with them and Ellie. I've worked with them all. I've known Ellie and Lawrence for a long time. We've been working in Scotland. But I do really want Bimini to win. Like, I think she's the winner we deserve.
I think I'm on the Bimini train now, definitely. But yeah, that's the end of episode 9? 8? 9? Episode 9. That's the end of episode 9. Hey, thanks for coming.
All over my face.
Before you go, do you have anything you need to plug? Any new merch or anything?
Yes, there's a whole new merch range coming on Good Friday on dragmerchuk.net, designed by the incredible Jacqueline Ogden and PlastiQ, or Graphique, whichever the way you fucking want to call it. I tag it both. But yeah, it's had a really good reception so far from just the stuff I posted about it. There's loads of people saying they're going to buy it. So, you know me, I only do like 1 run of everything.
Yeah.
It's like a 1 month thing. So yeah, obviously the UK Dolls tour has just been announced. So that's in June.
July.
And then we've got we're doing the myself and yourself, doing with a lot of other amazing Newcastle queens. We're doing the Frida and Ivy gig. What's it called?
Drop Dead Gorgeous. On the 3rd of April.
It's not like the film that we were talking about. Yeah. No. Someone's murdered RuPaul.
Yeah, shocking.
And I just knocked my drink over. And we have to find out who murdered. Oh no, you have to find out who murdered RuPaul.
Yes.
Through our performances. So I'm performing with my beautiful drag daughter, Sheena. Give us a shout, Tree. She's obviously gone for shit. And then you're performing, there's carbonara, pebble dash, cooking dip.
Frida and Ivy, Claudia Gabor. We can't forget her this time.
This time she wasn't on a fucking poster, was she?
But yeah, loads going on. So I'll put links down in the bio for everything.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
I can't wait to get back on the road, PlastiQ. You know so much.
I know.
I'm so grateful to be able to work over lockdown. I work through lockdown and not have to rely on my dad's inheritance.
But yeah, it has been. We've been very lucky that we've had stable employment, but we're very lucky that we should be back doing what we love very, very soon.
I don't know, are your venues planning to open on the 12th?
I know the Pink Room is opening on the 12th of April, outdoor only, and I believe the Bank and Switch will be doing the same.
If everything goes ahead with what it's meant to be doing.
Yes, and Bank and Switch will be doing the same. So do go spend your money in queer venues. I'm sure the Yard will be opening for outdoor as well.
We are planning on opening outdoors. I don't think it's going to be drag. It depends if we can have a stage outside or if we can have a stage coming out of the window.
Yeah.
So we can turn the speakers out. I'm not sure. You'll find out when I find out. But yeah, it's exciting. Like, I'm so fucking excited for shit to get back to normal. They've said that the vaccine's going to be finished by the May, is it?
May or June? May possibly. It may be done by May.
Maybe May. Which will be amazing. If we can everyone who needs to get the vaccine before then can get it, then fucking awesome.
Yes.
If I can go into the Pink Room on a Sunday night till 5 o'clock in the morning, then stagger to Spotlight and regret all my life choices as I'm eating a fucking chicken platter, I'm happy. How much would you kill for one of those chicken platters?
For me, it's the nachos, the works nachos. Nachos with chili, hot dogs, fried chicken, jalapenos, cheese. Oh, that's what I need in my life. So hopefully we'll be back this.
I'm waking up at 4 o'clock on the next day and going like, who are you?
Yeah. And I'm nearly marrying mine and I still forget who they are when I'm that hungover. But yeah, thank you for coming.
I forget who you are.
I think he wishes he could. But yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you at home for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell. If you want Mother Tucker back here soon, leave a comment.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell. You've got to hit the bell. Yeah, there's a little bell. And if you hit it, you get notifications to say Jack PlastiQ has posted a video.
Oh, you see, I only post on Vimeo because I always post with content that's
copyrighted. But yeah, well, hit the bell, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to see Mother back here again soon. I'm going to go eat the food that has been in the slow cooker for the last 6 hours while we videoed this. See you all soon. Bye! Right, get the gammon on the go. Get the gammon on the go.